seems to really be targeting JP down.
And this Khalid isn't even sure that if it's going to be a roamer, because we did see an XP lane Khalid in the hands of James in our first series today, the Superfan Saturday. So there's really no assurance that this is going to be a roam Khalid.
They can further limit it down if they deny any other picks that still can be available. Now even taking out the Hilda.
Yeah, could have been a roam choice there for JP. That's just straight up massive respect for JP. But there is still one pick in the roam that, if Onic aren't careful, will actually mess them up. If JP shows up with a Kufra suddenly, it's going to be a different story here a little bit for Onic.
Yeah, now what do you use against this 1-1? The reason as to why this 1-1 is so strong in lane is it's just so independent. It's so safe, and it dominates lane the moment that you give it edge.
Yeah, I would have thought of an Earthel, but will it be that reliable in this lineup?
I was thinking that too, but I don't think the Earthel would be as reliable as we want it to be, considering that if they show an Earthel here, then they can pack a Gatakacha Roma, Uranus EXP. Both will have Vengeance, and both will make the Earthel cry.
And I guess the choice here for now would be the Lunox to reset that crossbow of Tang with the
brilliance.
The brilliance, sorry.
It is bright.
It is bright.
It is bright. You know? Sometimes it's just, it is what it is.
And it's a great answer to the Uranus, I still feel like.
I think Sanji gets his Farsa. If it's not going to be the Farsa, I reckon it's the Low Yi. Then JP gets either Gatakacha or Kufra. If they want to match the rotational speed, they can go for the Cho as the roam. But then again, single target lockdown, you'll need to pair it up with Burst. Oh, Sanji can even go Kadita as an option.
Hey. Oh, wait.
Okay.
Wow.
Still pick off.
All right, actually, no, yeah. Oh, very greedy is the lineup of Liquid.
I agree.
Very, very greedy.
This is a triple marksman setup for Team Liquid Philippines, something that we have not seen since week 1 of MPL, or if I'm being honest, the last time that I saw this was in MSC 2025. And with a Franco and a Uranus, they do buy themselves a bit of space and a bit of protection if ever this Lancelot does have a field time puncturing in and out. But it really depends on how JP plays around his positioning and lands his hooks. Right now with the final pick here, Onic Philippines, that Phobius is still available to take if you are Kirk.
Yeah, I just want to see something either that can pack Flicker really well or Vengeance really well. Swerve it around, Gatot, Madam, Glue. Alright, okay, yeah. This I really, really like. The team fighting for Team Liquid Philippines isn't going to be as straightforward. However, since they have a triple core set up, Onic really need to be on top of being able to help Kirk out when he decides to initiate alongside Brusco. If their timings are off, it'll be easy for Oheb and Sanji and even Carl TZ to get away from harm's way, and now Onic are fighting a scrambled team lineup, which they do not want.
And so far here in game number 1, we're already seeing a lot of peculiar lineups set up for each other here. For Team Liquid Philippines, we are seeing a triple marksman setup with Yeeson Shin, Kimmy, and a 1-1 for the first time ever in Season 16. Meanwhile, for the side of Onic Philippines, no marksman at all. And you're going to give Kelra a Lunox to fight against off that 1-1. Welcome to the Golden Rivalry. It's a battle between the two world champions, the defending MSC champion Tlph goes up against Onic Philippines, the defending MS Series World Champions. Let's enter game 1. What can we expect if you're in the game?
We're going to be looking first at how well the matchup is dealt between the Lunox and the 1-1, because there is a small margin of error where if Kelra messes up his first trade in the minion waves, then Oheb's going to be able to push him back. He'll force the Inspire on himself to bring Kelra low, force out the regen, and then bring it for round 2 where the 1-1 will have an advantage. That's why you actually see the Lunox holding close, while JP, great disruption onto King Kong, being able to hook him back.
Both roamers have successfully caused some sort of disruption towards the enemy jungler. An Iron Hook from JP, and Brusco actually forced Carl TZ out of his purple buff, but they were able to secure it still nonetheless. And I'm liking how careful these teams are so far, because you cannot be putting putting yourself in a dangerous position knowing that there is a Khalid roam on the opposite side.
Both of these teams are rabid dogs. The moment that you slip up in the early game, they're not going to let up. They're going to bite you down, and then they're going to force the narrative against you. Onic Philippines and Mpl-Ph just playing it carefully right now in the first few minutes of the game. You do not want to slip up at this part.
Yeah, you see, quite conservative, but now with Keller finding a little bit of an inch of advantage, now we'll push in the pressure there. This is actually a debut pick. 3 of them for Team Liquid. A debut pick on the Franco for JP, the 1-1, and the Uranus.
Yeah. Surprisingly, JP's being a really annoying Franco here though. Like, those iron hooks which he gets to land on the creeps already allows them to reset. And I don't know if the broken walls have something to do with it, but he gets to always bring them out of range. So somehow it does affect King Kong and how fast he's able to farm up, but at least for now, they're still pretty much equal.
And this is going to be the first turtle of the game. No clear advantage yet so far for both teams here, but great poke damage coming in from King Kong. And maybe after this purple buff for both junglers, we might be able to see a big turtle fight. It looks like they're going to go for Sanford first.
Okay, that's the Purify. That's the ultimate already used, rather. Doesn't have a way out unless, there you go, he has the flicker still, and he will remain alive.
Yeah,
and the
good
turtle.
cover.
And the turtle is continued here for Onic Philippines, despite just being an extended team fight. Tlph with a mounted shocker as well.
Look at these broken walls, greatly affecting the flow of the fight. King Kong gets the turtle and Tlph will fall. The grab is also committed on to multiple members here of Team Liquid Philippines. No one left except Sanford and of course Oheb, who's just alone up top.
Massive gold swing though. Onic Philippines now ahead by 1.5k. Sanford trying to look for something here. Might just find King Kong, but King Kong finds him first. And that's going to be a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, massive trade there. It actually began because Super Prince was able to find the perfect angle for the Crimson Beacon. Team Liquid Philippines slipped up on their positioning after Sanji got a beautiful traction pulse to what looked like start things off very well for Team Liquid. But great assessment of the situation by Super Prince. The moment he committed the Crimson Beacon, that was immediately 3 under his feet, which forced Onic to respond to that, which they rightfully did, and Team Liquid had to back. Sanford was a bit too deep with that cut.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable that he is the guy who's capable of doing that because he's the Uranus. He is the guy who should be standing in front of the enemies because JP should be a bit more further back. He will be a bit more reliant on the Iron Hook unless there is a really isolated member for them to commit the Flicker Bloody Hunt onto. But if Onic are able to play this kind of team fight every single time they see Sanford all alone, then it might not be that great of a start for Team Liquid.
And that was a close call for Sanford too. The first few seconds of that fight was Sanford just trying to tank 4 people away from that team fight. Was able to eventually dash away with the ward, but it was already so much so that he couldn't regen enough back in time to fight again with his team. And eventually, King Kong finding him the moment that this regen was up just meant that even after 3 kills and a turtle, Onic Philippines able to secure a bonus kill on the side of Sanford as we head on back to this game. Onic Philippines still in the lead at around 2,000 gold 3 minutes in.
Yeah, I think that's one of the hardest parts about this lineup of Team Liquid, at least for the early to mid stages of the game. So much has to be done by Sanford for them to last long enough in a fight. And so much still has to be farmed up by Tlph, Sanji, and Oheb.
Yeah, because of the very greedy nature of the lineup of Team Liquid Philippines, it's also understandable to see that Onic will be taking the lead as long as that they can give the Uranus problems early on and then find Tlph early. Onic can just continue to play this very cleanly, very methodical. At some point, though, they're going to have to respect the potential turnaround factor around the 1-1 and the Franco together. And if ever Sanji does become a more difficult target for Onic Philippines to catch, but it's going to be a while until we get there. Onic can just keep this up.
So maybe for now, it's really just limiting what Onic could potentially get in the early stages. It's limiting the snowball if you're Team Liquid Philippines because there's not much you can do. Oheb finds the stacks on Keller though, but doesn't use the crossbow of Tam, or he actually doesn't have it. Now Brusco, will he get to finish the kill? Maybe not for now.
Yeah, there was already a trade-off between these 2 marksmen. up top in the gold lane. And I feel like the crossbow tank was used, but that did force out the brilliance coming in from Keller as well. And with this, the second turtle is already spawned. Slight advantage here for Tlph, but Sanford might just be caught.
Once more, will this mean that Sanford doesn't get to survive? JP though finds an iron hook, but it's gonna be on Brusco, who still has the flicker and the quick sand guard.
Yeah, Liquid needs to let go of this. Onic are just going to be able to get this without a problem. Carlteasy backs off.
The Apex Predator a bit too forward there in his XP lane. And this is the nature of the lineup between a Glue and a Uranus. I've recently found out from a Glue expert around the global tier that a Uranus matchup isn't really a winning matchup against a Glue, but you just wait for your allies and you deliver that Uranus to them.
Yeah, and it seems like Kirk has manipulated the laning phase so that Sanford would just keep thinking about pushing forward. And with those two early deaths, Liquid and Sanford need to readjust how they play this game if they want to make sure that Onic doesn't run away with this with like a 7,000-8,000 gold lead in the next 4 minutes.
Yeah, this is such a great start for Kirk and his return on the Glue, limiting so much of what Sanford is able to do. But Brusco goes in though, gets to dodge the Starlium Beam, but not the bloody hunt from JP. That is going to be a pickoff for Team Liquid Philippines, but Super Prince and Kirk are still trying to fight this. There goes the Traction Pulse once more, and the damage gradually being enough. The grab is committed onto Oheb, but he's just going to bring him further behind. Brilliance also forced out by Sanford on Kelra. There goes the Chaos Assault, but will they still go for the chase? He's under the turret already, but JP, he finishes off the kill with an iron hook.
And JP from downtown, but King Kong going in for the flank. That's 3 punctures in, make that 4, make that 5. He's gonna find JP, but the Winter's crown saves him for a while. It seems like he's gonna be able to stay alive.
He still gets to walk away safely, even despite that perfectly positioned Thorned Rose. But then again, who would have thought that he already had the Winter Crown?
JP, oh my god, you had that and then you still got away? Bro, that was 3 key hooks in that long sequence. And this is exactly what I was talking about. Onic Philippines just slipped up at one moment. But even more so, JP found 3 brilliant hooks.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was also the passive that came into play that allowed him for JP to deal that much damage. But
yeah, Wasteland.
It was the Wasteland Force maybe that helped them get to take the kill on Kelra.
Body didn't even move, but look at that. King Kong might just be in trouble. Oheb half HP. JP misses that hook, and looks like Sanford looks to be the next target here.
He did miss it, but barely. I feel like King Kong also got a bit nervous there. But Oheb will still have to regain some of his HP back if they do want to fight this 5-on-5, because these are 5 members of Onic Philippines and Carlteasy is not anywhere near. So they might have to let go of this objective and we'll just try to fight a bit more instead. Sanford might be the target here, but will just be able to return under the turret. Oh, wait, they actually want to go for more! Hold on, Sanji doesn't survive! King Kong used the Retribution just to take the kill, and even the tier 1 in mid will not last long.
And just when you thought that the fight was over, Onic Philippines, they find another angle and they go in with a Raging Sandstorm.
Perfect entry there by Kirk. I thought he wouldn't commit it, but he even uses Flicker as well. If you're gonna commit a play like that, you have to get a trade, and they did. Sanji even forces Flicker out to survive, but he didn't. He caused his death. Big win in the middle for Onic as they were able to push the tower there as well.
And so far for Tlph, the gold lead against Onic Philippines. They're still down by 2,000. This was up by 3,000. Minor slip up there meant Onic Philippines went back to 2,000. But throughout this entire time, this man, Super Prince, has been able to calm everything down for the side of Onic Philippines, and that's the Infinix GT30 experience victory for every Madlang gamer.
By the way, quick item update. Keller already has the Divine Glaive. He decided to rush into it. So now Team Liquid Philippines will, hopefully one of them sees that. Because Kelra, with that item, means that he'll just be able to completely shred through Sanford very quickly. And even the squishier members of Team Liquid Philippines will feel the pain. That's the power spike that you're looking for if you're the Lunox. So, Team Liquid, they now have to start really talking amongst themselves, JP and Sanford mainly, about when to engage. Because if you decide to engage in one, you have the Khalid and the Lancelot to watch out for.
Oh no!
Speaking of engage, the Bloody Hunt is committed onto Kirk, but the Raging Sandstorm will be there too. However, the damage from Tlph is seemingly overwhelming for Onic. That's a double kill for Sanji right right there.
And yet another clutch Winter's Crown comes in from Daddy JP. Cancels out the glue ultimate. But King Kong is looking for more. The Iron Hook doesn't land. And finally, the First Lord spawns. Onic is still up by 1.7. Renmar, what's the game plan here for both teams?
Oh, JP is cracked. So for Team Liquid Philippines, you have to move forward. Someone has to hold the shrubs up top near that BPI logo, while Sanji is holding perfectly. Just keep that there. You're fine. Hold on to that bush. So now later on, Onic, let's see if they're going to open the map or decide to full commit. It's a full commit. They can't just all be here. They need to try and send someone through mid so that they can pincer together.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Kirk!
What a well-timed
Let's
hook!
go!
But the answer from Brusco, we have the crossbow of tag from Ohead is gonna land. Sanford will have to flicker out just to survive, but Carl Tz and Sanji are dealing enough damage. Traction Pulse will not connect. The flicker Iron Hook 2 will not connect, but Onic are able to run away. Yet Tlph are in full control of the Lord.
And that was a 1K gold lead ahead for Onic Philippines, but they clutch hook secures the Lord for Tlph. First Lord of the game goes to the head of the GOAT, Carl Tz.
Oh man, JP, he just continues to shut the hitters up. Hook after hook. And then that even forced the Thorn Rose out of King Kong so that he gets an iframe. Oh my goodness, JP, what is going on?
Man, a lot of players have stepped up today, and it seems in game one, JP is the man to look at for Tlph, and this is going to be the first Lord push of the game. For majority of the early to the mid game, Onic Philippines has held the lead. It was a 2,000, 3,000 gold lead, and with this Lord push, they have not only equalized the game, but they've went in and dealt damage on Onic Philippines.
Oh, are they actually gonna fight this? Look at how Carl Tz, without
JP.
hesitation, just threw out the Mountain Shocker. JP will not get to find a target there, but it was enough to push Onic back and potentially Team Liquid Philippines to really take control of the map right now.
Yeah, Team Liquid Philippines did a terrific job of just being able to farm up. Sanji's 5-2-1. So now Onic Philippines, as we were discussing earlier, a lot of options to go for.
That was an Iron Hook which landed, if not for the spread, I feel.
Yeah.
So, fortunately for Kirk, he survives that. Okay, so Onic might be able to breathe a bit more for now.
And finally, both junglers reach level 15 here by 11:40. And after 10 minutes of suffering for Tlph, they finally get the gold lead to 1.5k in their favor. But looking at the Infinix in-game equipment right now, Renmar, looking at the two top-tier junglers that we have, it's still King Kong up top by 200 gold.
Yeah, Glue doesn't have the Radiant Armor yet for Kirk, as he decided to go for a bit of a chop suey build. Dominance Ice was his rush, and then he went Dreadnought, and then he built the robe as well. So there's no real full component to deal with the damage of the Kimmy. Later on, we're going to start seeing our Radiant Armors and Blade Armors on the side of Onic, which actually shuts down those three carries for Liquid. However, it just sort of mitigates what the 1-1 can do. One of the problems is Onic doesn't have that surefire burst that can easily get the 1-1. Keldra has to put himself in harm's way. King Kong has to put himself in harm's way just to make sure that they can get damage off on Ohem. But Team Liquid are holding the formation so well every team fight, and Sanji is so hard to reach that it's so tough to do.
Good seal play here for Onic. Nice Mountain Shocker coming in from Tlph for some information. King Kong forced to go out with a Phantom Execution, and it seems that Sanford will be giving vision for Tlph 30 seconds before the second Lord of the game spawns. In terms of objectives, Turtles have worked out for Onic Philippines, but for TL, the Lords have been in their favor.
Yeah, you're really starting to see this formation of Team Liquid Philippines. They're holding on to this, and JP is just so reliable. He needs to stick to the members who need to survive. That Bloody Hunt can potentially set a very important kill, or either be the reason that their members or one of their most crucial carries are able to live.
What I like about the item build here of Sanford is that he decided to rush the Oracle. Wait!
Oh, hold on, JP though. Really low now. The grab will land. The Phantom Execution too. Will Ohem find his stacks? Will he still find his stacks? JP will fall, but Sanji! He finds the kill on King Kong! Sanford decides to go in, and my oh my, Onic, they lost their jungler!
And that's the worst part. They have a Lord fight upcoming, and they don't have the Retribution, which means that the GOAT once again secures the Lord for Tlph.
What's up with the Kimmies in the Philippines lately? Sanji on the way to a potential MVP performance for himself as well. 6-2-1. Again, we in the previous patch and heading into this one, we talked that having multiple cores might be a bit too greedy. But with how well Team Liquid Philippines have played around their condition of if the Iron Hook lands through, make sure you commit, then these cores actually got to get their farm so much faster, which meant that now Onic are overloaded with choices. Because if you are the members of Onic, who the hell are you going to target? You take out one carry, there's two more to deal with.
Well, the answer begins to be all of them all at once, and it's the hardest thing to do because Tlph has one of the best formations in terms of team fightings, and now the Lord crashes up top. That's going to be one inhibitor turned down. That's not going to land.
Ooh.
The Iron Hook as well. It looks like they're going to use the Thorn Rose to go in for the pokes. They find JP.
Oh, now the Bloody Hunt was forced. Immortality already popped.
Oh!
Sanji gets taken down by King Kong, but King Kong might have to sacrifice himself as well. Brusco will be the next target. OM still dancing around the members. Quick Sandguard just trying to force some sort of sustain, but it's just a double kill for Carl TZ. Sandford still tagging the damage, and somehow, someway, 2-for-2 trades take place across the map.
3 people left to defend here for Onic Philippines, but you still have Kelra and Super Friends. You still have the wave clear, but all of the resources inside the jungle of Onic Philippines will be surrendered to Tlph.
Yeah, you gotta appreciate the killer mentality there of Super Friends. The moment he saw that the hook was used by JP, he decided to commit his Crimson Beacon in damage to the center.
Wait.
Oh, Flicker. Flicker from Kirk.
He got him!
He got away!
But he couldn't do anything. There's the stun from the Mountain Shocker and the damage from
Bang!
Oheb and Carl. Now they're trying to fight back once more, but they have to respect Kelra too. He has damage.
Carl.
Crimson Beacon in from Super Friends, but Carl still finds the kill before eventually getting shut down by King Kong.
It looks like Sanford and OM, they want blood. They want blood. Kelra is the first victim, but the light is there to guide him back home. And the hook lands on one. He eats the 2, and the 1 remains.
Brusco, the only one left. Quick Sandguard, but he cannot last long. A Winter Crown from Sanji to survive, and with every single member alive except Carl, Tlph secure game number 1.
In that game, I couldn't believe